Hi everybody, it's Deborah from PeopleLovingAnimals.com. Thanks so much for tuning in, watching today's video. Today's video is called Pet Flea and Tick Control. We're going to be talking about the best flea and tick control and also the best flea and tick prevention. We're going to be talking about what to do if your pet has fleas. We're going to talk about how to prevent your pet from getting fleas to begin with. We're going to talk about what doesn't work. I'm also going to talk a little bit about the dangers of fleas and ticks. Some of these you may not know. I'm also going to share a pretty shocking experience that I had with a small kitten several years ago regarding fleas. And I'm also going to be giving you the link to a little tutorial on how to remove a tick from your pet. So if you find today's video helpful, please go ahead and give it a like. That really does help YouTubers when you do that. Now, if you have not been here before, my name is Deborah. I own PeopleLovingAnimals.com, and several times a month I do videos all about the care and health and training of dogs and cats. So if you would enjoy that type of content and you're not already subscribed, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And please go ahead and share this channel with your friends and family who have a dog or a cat. They might benefit from this type of content. Also, in the description box, you're going to find a link to go ahead and sign up for either my dog lovers email list or my cat lovers email list, or both. So go ahead and sign on for those if you would like to get blog posts and articles and videos sent to you about dogs and cats. Now, we are going to use this article from PeopleLovingAnimals.com called Pet Flea and Tick Control to guide us through today's video. I'm going to give you a link to this article in the description box, so you're going to be able to click on the article and you're going to be able to click on all the links and things that we talk about. Everything will be in the description box. Now, if you have ever had a pet with fleas or ticks, you know it's terrible. I personally seem to be allergic to fleas because if I get bit, I get like big welts on my skin and it's just extremely uncomfortable. And I have found that fleas can take over your pet and they can take over your whole house. They multiply very quickly and it can seem like it's impossible to get rid of them. Now, in my 40 plus years as a pet owner, I have never seen flea shampoos, flea collars, flea baths, flea sprays, or flea bombs work at all. And so in today's video, we're going to talk about the best flea and tick control and the best flea and tick prevention. Now, the best flea and tick control, if your pet already has fleas, it is best to act immediately to get control of the situation. Again, if they haven't already, they're going to take over your pet, they're going to take over your whole house. They're also going to spread to other pets in the household if they haven't already. Fleas can multiply very quickly, and both fleas and ticks can carry diseases that can put your pet's health at risk. Okay, so the best way to control fleas and ticks is to treat your pet immediately with a flea and tick medication such as Frontline Plus flea and tick treatment. I'm going to give you a link to that in the description box. This will get rid of the fleas on your pet very quickly. You should also give your home a thorough cleaning by vacuuming the carpets and the furniture if you have an attachment for your vacuum cleaner, and also wash your pet's bedding in your own if your pets sleep with you, because the Frontline is going to kill the fleas on your pet, and then as the pet goes through the house and the fleas continue to jump on your pet, it will eliminate all of the fleas and ticks from your pet and your house. But it's gross, but there's going to be leftover flea dirt, which is basically flea manure, and also there could be flea eggs left over in the bedding on the furniture. So give your pet the medication and go ahead and give your house a thorough cleaning just to get rid of all that, right? Now, as far as flea and tick prevention, the best prevention is to make sure that you're treating your pet with a flea and tick medication. Now, there are other brands. I'm going to give you a link to Frontline Plus because they seem to be the most popular flea and tick medication right now, but you can also ask your vet for their recommendation on what they think is the best flea and tick medicine for your cat or for your dog or your cat, especially if your pet has any sort of a health health condition, and especially if your animal is young, okay? Puppies and kittens, ask your vet if you're having a problem with fleas, okay? Now, the trick with prevention is that you need to apply the medication just prior to flea and tick season, and then you have to apply it once a month throughout flea and tick season. Now, I live in Western New York. For us, flea and tick season is starting right now. It's the 2nd of May, the day I'm making this video. And flea and tick season used to last through September, but now it's kind of going into October because as the climate changes, our summers seem to be lasting longer and longer. But I think minimally from May through September for my neck of the woods. But again, you can ask your vet from when should you start the medication and for how long, but you got to make sure you put it on before the animal gets fleas and then do it once a month so that you just don't have this problem, okay? Now hang with me because we're going to go over some things that you're probably going to be surprised about. Now just briefly, Frontline Plus flea and tick treatment kills fleas, ticks, and chewing lice. It repels mosquitoes, ticks, stable flies, and it protects your pet for a full 30 days. Mosquitoes also, by the way, can carry disease. I'm going to give you a link to purchase it on Amazon. And when you are purchasing a flea and tick medication, make sure that you're getting the right one for dogs or cats. They aren't interchangeable. And then make sure that you get the right product for your pet's weight, okay? So just make sure that, you don't give dogs medication to cats and vice versa, and then you wouldn't want to give medication for a 50-pound dog to a 10-pound Chihuahua. Do you know what I mean? So please make sure that you're purchasing the right product for the dog or the cat, and also it's based on their weight. Okay. And again, if you aren't sure what to give your pet, please go ahead and just ask your vet for a recommendation. Now, I just want to give you this bit of information before I forget. Flea and tick prevention for dogs. Ticks can carry fatal diseases which can transfer to humans, most notably Lyme disease. So it's important to use tick prevention to ensure that your dog and you and your family stay healthy. I'm going to recommend a blog post. I'm going to give you a link. It's by professional dog trainer and behavioral specialist Doggy Dan. He is the owner of the dog training website, theonlinedogtrainer.com. And he's got a very detailed blog post specifically about ticks and dogs. And I think you're going to find it quite interesting. And in that blog post, he tells you how to check your dog for ticks, and then how to remove a tick if you find one. Now, I'm getting a little creeped out right now because, well, first of all, I'm going to give you the link to that in the description box. So please go ahead and look at that, even if you've got a cat and not a dog, because the information obviously is going to interchange between cats and dogs. But I'm kind of getting the willies here because fortunately for me, only once in my life have I ever had a tick on one of my pets that I know of. And it was my little wiener dog, Taz. If you've been here before, you've heard me talk about her. I'm just going to tell you about the experience so that you know what I know. First of all, I thought it was a mole. It was like on the side of her forehead. It was like over here. And it was like this little dark kind of raised spot. And I was like, geez, she's getting a mole. And she was elderly. She had gray fur. She had, all these sorts of things. So I said, oh, well, old people get moles. Maybe dogs get moles too. And so for a little while, I just thought it was a mole. And I thought it was odd. But then I thought, geez, the thing is still there. Like, what is it? And I even rubbed it with my fingers and it was just like flat. And I thought, okay, it's a mole. Well, then somehow, I don't know how it dawned on me that it could possibly be a tick. I don't know if I saw an ad on TV for flea medication. I don't know how it dawned on me, but I was like, oh my God, what if it's a tick? So I looked online and I got advice on how to remove a tick. And again, I'm going to ask you to please read Doggy Dan's article because it's important that you do this correctly. And it's important, as gross as it is, that you don't leave part of the tick's body behind under your pet's skin. It's very gross, but please read the article for these instructions. So I followed the instructions and I got some rubbing alcohol and a cotton ball and I got tweezers and I grabbed a hold of what looked like a mole. I grabbed a hold of either side of it and I very carefully pulled it, and it's gross. I had to pull hard. I had to pull hard. And then when I pulled it out from under her skin, all of its legs were wiggling. Oh my God, this was years ago. And I still have the willies thinking about it. Well, the advice that I got online, and the same advice that Doggy Dan gives, is that you have to kill that tick. Okay, you don't just put it outside, don't even flush it down the toilet. You got to kill that thing. And they suggested dropping the tick into rubbing alcohol. You got to make sure they're good and dead. Guess what? I did that. I put the tick into a little thing of rubbing alcohol. I am telling you, the thing swam for a couple of minutes. The thing was swimming around. It's like, oh my God, I get the creeps. They're so disgusting. So I'm just saying, this is very serious. And like I say, please read the article, because apparently it's very dangerous if you don't get the whole tick out from under the skin of your pet, and it can cause infection and all these sorts of things. But thank God that was my only experience in my whole life with one of my animals actually having a tick. But I share this not to gross you out or to scare you, but so that you realize a tick is a terrible thing. You don't want it on your pet, okay? And if your pet does have ticks and you're like, oh my God, I'm grossed out, I'm intimidated, I'm scared about this, make an appointment and take your pet to the vet and let your vet handle it, okay? But again, this is one of the reasons why you need to be using a preventative flea and tick medication for your pet. So I just wanted to kind of interrupt the video to give you that information. Now, natural tick and flea remedies. You may find some natural flea and tick remedies online, such as applying orange or lemon juice to your pet's skin, giving your pet a bath, house cleaning, and yard treatments. Now, my personal experience proves that citrus juice does not work. All right, that's all I'm going to say. It doesn't work. Also, giving your dog a bath after you've given them the flea treatment. If they already have fleas and you've already given the flea treatment, then fine. Give your dog a bath, because it's going to get rid of any leftover flea eggs or flea manure or flea dirt that's on your dogs. Do not give your cat a bath ever, unless your vet specifically tells you to. I just did a video fairly recently about how often to bathe your pets, and the answer for cats is don't do it at all. So watch that video if you want some more information on that. And again, flea baths do not work. It's not going to work to get rid of the fleas. Believe me, I have tried it a million times. It does not work. House cleaning, again, it's recommended. Vacuum your furniture, vacuum your carpets, wash your bedding. Once you've gotten control of the fleas, you've administered the medication, because you want to just get rid of the dirt and the manure and the flea eggs, right? But just cleaning your house is not going to get rid of fleas. Okay, it's not. You should use caution when you're using any sort of a lawn treatment, okay? Because a lot of lawn treatments can be toxic to your pets, okay? So this is just, my 2 cents from me to you. Now, I am a person who chooses natural remedies for things as often as I can, not only for my pets, but for my house and for myself. So I'm always looking for natural remedies. But in my opinion, when it comes to fleas and ticks, I think it's best to use a flea and tick medication to solve the problem completely, to eliminate all the work you're going to do with all these natural remedies that are not going to work, and to prevent serious illnesses from diseases carried by fleas and ticks. Okay, I just don't think that it's worth screwing around with. I just don't. Now, fleas and ticks can be dangerous. They do carry diseases. They can cause blood loss and anemia, as well as skin irritation and infection. Some of the diseases that fleas and ticks can carry can be fatal, such as Lyme disease. Now, here's the shocking story that I want to share with you. Again, not to scare you, but kind of to scare you, because I want you to be able to learn from my mistakes. I once had a tiny kitten die from fleas. It was a little tiny black kitten. The mother had a litter, and there were 3 kittens. There were 2 black and white ones and this little black one. And the mother had fleas, so then the kittens had fleas. They all had fleas. Now, this was 100 years ago. I did not have a lot of knowledge about this sort of thing, and so I gave the mother a flea bath, which was terrifying for her and did not work. It was a total complete waste of time. It did not work at all. And also I had read that it's not, you can't use like flea products on baby kittens, and these kittens were just tiny. So I read online that you should spray like a hand towel with flea spray and then wrap the kitten from their neck down in it to kind of gas out the fleas. It didn't work. Okay, it didn't work. And who knows if it may have harmed those kittens with those kittens inhaling that. I don't know. But these things did not work. The kitten died. The little black kitten died. I took it to the vet. They said, yes, this kitten is covered with fleas. They said they're going to keep the cat overnight. They gave him a blood transfusion. And what had happened was that the fleas had literally drank so much blood from this little kitten that the kitten was dangerously anemic. And even with staying in the vet overnight and them giving him blood, he didn't make it through the night. Okay, so again, I'm not trying to scare you, but I am trying to scare you, because to this day, I regret my ignorance in not handling that properly. And now I know that if I had given that mother cat a flea treatment medication, then, prior to flea season, those fleas would have never existed. She would have never had fleas. The kittens would have never had fleas. And that little sweet kitten wouldn't have lost its life. Okay, so I just want to share that with you, that, it's serious, okay, especially if your animal is young, and even if they're not. And also, fleas and ticks can be particularly dangerous if you have an elderly pet. Okay, an elderly pet in general, they just don't have the wherewithal to fight stuff. They don't have the blood to spare. They don't have the immune system to battle any sort of disease that the flea or tick might bring, okay? Now, again, if you are unsure or if you're nervous about this, please go ahead and ask your vet for a recommendation. The vet might even administer the flea and tick medication for you. And again, if you have fleas, if you have ticks, feel free to take your pet to the vet and say, I need help with this situation. Also, I'm going to give you a link for the article for ASPCA's guide for preparing for flea and tick season. Their article is a little bit more thorough than my article, and they give more information. And obviously the ASPCA is a trusted source of information, so I want to go ahead and share that with you. Now, a couple more things before we go. I donate to animal charities. I do peoplelovinganimals.com as my job, and I get a small commission for various products and services that I recommend on my website and also my YouTube channel. And then I donate 10% of those commissions to animal charities. And if you go to the homepage of my website, peoplelovinganimals.com, you will see a list of the animal charities that I donate to. So again, I hope so much that this video was helpful. If it was, please go ahead and give it a like. Please share it with your friends and family who have dogs and cats, especially if you're watching this video currently or next year when flea season comes around, because it really is an important issue. And in my opinion, the best thing to do is use the proper medication and prevent the whole mess from happening to begin with. Save your pets the aggravation and save yourself the aggravation. So thank you so much for watching. I hope I helped. My name is Deborah, and my website is peoplelovinganimals.com. Thanks again. Bye-bye.